Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Copperstop Productions. In this week's video, we're going to be jumping in and doing the bog on the rear freshly welded in panels on my R32. In last week's video, we went over and we welded some new panels in. If you haven't caught that video yet, I'll leave a link for it there, go check it out. We got some pretty decent results from it, and then we went over and did the first layer of bog, but I didn't leave that part in the video. So, here's what that looked like. Now might be a good time to say that I am not a professional, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And that is it now, ready for the next layer of bog. We've still got a couple little not pinholes, I guess I call it just shallow spots, which need to be brought out. So we're going to put another layer on, much thinner than the last one, because that was a pain in the ass to sand off. And then we're going to go over, sand it off, and hopefully that should be all that it needs. I must be putting way too much harder in this stuff, because as soon as I get it on the metal, it's just going off. Like, I thought it was supposed to be malleable and easy to spread, but it is like butter straight out of the fridge. It just doesn't want to spread. I cleaned it back up and off a bit, and now we're left with these little things here, because I probably sanded it too soon, but I didn't want to leave it because I was unsure. So, attempt number 3, I guess. You know what? After a second sand, I think that's good. There's no longer any divots or anything like that. It still needs to be smoothed down with like a finer grit sandpaper. Beautiful, smoothest part on the whole damn car. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what to do next. Alright, we've cleaned up a bit, taken the stuff off. I think the plan is just to clean this whole thing so that it's essentially ready to paint, maybe go from there. I did not film the sanding, but we gave this thing a bloody good sand down the whole way around, and obviously we cleaned off the gunk. Now there's still probably a little bit more sanding I want to do in some areas, so I'll probably do a bit more, and there's definitely still some cleanup I have to do in some other areas, but for the most part I've sanded the frame itself down around. You can see it's pretty damn pitted in some spots, but that's what the rust converter's job is. It's to, you know, get in there to all those little pits and eat all the rust out so that it doesn't come back later. So yeah, I shouldn't be touching this with bare skin because it will make it rust in the meantime. So next thing we've got to do, give it another sand and another clean back, and then we're going to go over with etch primer. This is basically, well, it's primer that goes over metal, so that we can adhere primer to then paint, because etch primer is designed specifically to go over metal. I wouldn't know any of this stuff if it weren't for a mate who was telling me exactly what to do to make sure that it doesn't rust again. Nature does not give a shit what your audio sounds like. So, because we have to go over the whole thing, give it a little bit more of a clean and probably a little bit more of a scuff back, and also then clean around that part of the car as well. The paint for it to go on and set has to be at about a temperature between 25 and 30 degrees. It is that hot in the middle of the days right now, so what I'm going to be doing is waiting until this coming weekend when I am home in the middle of the day and not at work, so that I can put the paint on there. So yeah, this week's video we've gotten bog done and sanding, which isn't a great deal of progress, but nonetheless it's a step closer to being able to get the windscreen back in, which is a step closer to being able to get this car on the road. That is going to be it for this week's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, leave a like down below, leave a comment telling me what you think, and if you haven't done already, hit that subscribe button to see me get this thing back on the road. Next week's video we're going to paint the rear, and then after that we should be good to put the windscreen in, or we will be good to put the windscreen in, because I'm going to make it good to put the windscreen in. I'll catch you next week's video. Bye.